Hey guys, Nukin here, and ladies and gentlemen, this is the quickest 1 million damage you'll ever do in the Sith raid. 1 million damage! That's right, 1 million damage in one attack, and everyone out there predicted it, or almost everyone. Aurra Sing was on the tip of everyone's mouths, and she is the next bounty hunter coming to Galaxy of Heroes. This is Nukin, of course. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be going over everything about this girl. She hit so hard against Darth Traya in phase 3 of the heroic Sith raid. I did over 6 million damage with her and some bounty hunters, so she is kicking butt. We're going to go over her kit. We're of course going to also go over all of her abilities, talk about her omegas, her zetas, and take a look at some gameplay. Stay tuned. Tomorrow I'll probably have a second Aurra Sing video out there. There was just so much that I couldn't cover in one video, so there'll probably be another video on this channel, so make sure that you're subscribed if you haven't done so already. There will be no video for the next few videos. We're having some technical difficulties, but I did order a nice fancy camera that should be coming in the mail pretty soon, so stay tuned for that as well. So let's talk about Aurra Sing. She is a bounty hunter attacker. She's dark side, of course, and some of her strengths are going to be, of course, we already talked about it, big damage in phase 3. You can do like 500k to a million damage depending on your modding and who is on the team composition, of course, in phase 3 against Darth Traya, and it's really strong. It's really fun. In fact, without the standalone, you can also end up doing like 2 to 300k damage with her specials, so huge damage. She goes into stealth a lot, and we'll go over her kit in just a second, and some of the synergies here, just like in my Embo video, CG is doing some of the synergies here. She works well with some of the other attackers, and we'll go over her kit. Now, you definitely want to include Bosk. Bosk is kind of like your 5th character that you want to put on the team. And speaking of 5th characters, by the way, for example, if you don't have Embo, which is probably going to be the case for a lot of you guys since he's relatively new, just replace Embo with another bounty hunter that has a contract ability. So Boba Fett, IG-88, basically any other bounty hunter that has a contract will do just fine. Now let's take a look at Aurra Sing. So we already knew that she was a scoundrel bounty hunter attacker, dark side character. Now her description here says that she's a deadly bounty hunter that has increased damage while under stealth. So she has a basic, 2 specials, a leadership ability. Let's go over her leadership ability. This is one of her zetas. She has 2 zetas on her kit. Now, bounty hunter and scoundrel allies are going to have 30% offense while stealth. Now, also at the start of the battle, so at the very beginning, and also whenever you defeat an enemy, all the bounty hunter attacker allies are going to gain stealth for 2 turns. So what's cool about this is not all the other bounty hunter allies are going to have the attacker sort of faction code. So basically, Bosk is not an attacker, so he'll be out in the open and having sort of like a soft taunt while all your bounty hunter attackers are kind of protected in stealth. So that's cool. Of course, she has a contract, and basically you just need to use abilities a few times and attack enemies that don't have any buffs. It's relatively easy to basically do that. So now when you complete the contract, you're going to have this bonus for Aurra Sing. Specifically, she's going to gain 25% offense and 50% health steal, and whenever she uses a special ability, she will also gain stealth for 1 turn. So she also will be basically stealth all the time, so that's going to basically synergize with the rest of her kit. Now let's take a look at her unique here. This is her only unique, Relentless Killer. Aurra Sing has 40% crit damage. That's a lot, and then it's doubled while she's stealth, and she's stealth all the time, so she's basically going to have 80% critical damage, and whenever any sort of bounty hunter ally defeats an enemy, she's going to have stacking 10% crit chance for the rest of the battle. So she will be basically having 100% crit damage. Now let's take a look at her basic weakening shot. So we have these cool animations here. Now her basic is going to deal physical damage, and it's also going to have a 70% chance to inflict stun for 1 turn. Stun is a pretty good debuff for the TW PvP scene. Now you won't really be stunning Dark Treya or the lightsabers in P3, but if you're going to try and use her in TW, that should be pretty useful. Also, if the target is debuffed, she's going to be gaining 20% turn meter, which is nice. So whenever you can actually gain turn meter, you can go quicker and cycle through your turns, and so that's going to be good. So that's her basic. Now let's take a look at her first special, which is called Hustle. So here it is. So Hustle has a cooldown of 4. Now basically what it does, it's going to have a cooldown of 4. That seems large, but if she is stealth, or a Sing that is, she's going to actually take a bonus turn. So it's kind of like she has a cooldown of 3 for this ability, because she's quite often, most of the time, stealth. Now specifically, she's going to give herself crit chance up and offense up, some offensive boosts, some buffs to herself for 3 turns, and then her next ability is going to also do 35% bonus damage. So you're going to actually see how she hits so hard here. Now with her second special, Sniper's Expertise, this is going to deal 200% more damage. It deals physical damage as well, has a cooldown of 4, but then this ability's cooldown is reset if you're basically doing this on a toppled enemy, and toppled enemies are going to take huge damage. So if you do the first special to get the bonus damage, you have the offense up, and you're doing this on a toppled enemy, and then plus in phase 3 you can do standalone. This is how you can do 500k to 1,000,000 damage with this ability. In fact, this is actually kind of cool, because potentially if you can actually make her super fast, maybe in like a post 6.mod gear 12 plus era, maybe you could even squeeze 3 of those specials in one topple. That'll be super interesting to do. I believe I actually squeezed in 2 with some actually decent RNG timing, but I'm not sure if I included that with my game footage. So basically that is her kit. So we went over everything there. Let's quickly go over her what's under the hood, the Omegas and the Zetas, so we make sure everyone knows that, and then we'll take a look at some mods and gameplay. So now that we reviewed her kit, let's pop the hood real fast and take a look at what we're working with. Now base speed is going to be 147. That is above average. She has 10% health steal, but that's not super important because she will be gaining 50% health steal from her contract payout. And then if you're running her on a Embo lead, she's basically going to have 110% health steal. So not super important there. Now I do want to add that her health and protection is around 30 to 40k. So there is a little bit of possibility of dying. So make sure you do squeeze in some health protection secondaries here or there, or maybe run a sort of protection or health primary circle and cross. And now keep in mind that I wanted to boost her damage, so I didn't really boost her speed too fast. I brought her up to 195 speed. In fact, I gave her a offense primary arrow. Just, you know, you can't blame me. I wanted to go for that 1 million hit, and I felt pretty good when I got it. I don't think that's probably best. You probably do want to go for a speed arrow on her. Gave her maximum crit damage, of course, so I gave her a crit damage triangle, offense cross for more damage, and then I gave her some secondary offense, 116 secondary offense there with a protection circle. Now keep in mind, I'm not sure if you want to do health or protection circle. Keep a lookout on my second video tomorrow on her, and I'll try and confirm what the best primary for the circle is right there. Now real fast, the Omegas are going to be as follows. On the basic ability, you're going to gain an extra 5% turn meter on the basic attack, so 15 to 20% turn meter on a basic attack. You're definitely probably going to Omega the basic. You're definitely also going to want to Omega the first special, because that's going to give her the offense up so she can hit that much harder. We already talked about her Zeta on her leadership ability. Now the specific Zeta portion for the leadership ability is as follows. When a bounty hunter ally defeats an enemy, the bounty hunter attacker allies are going to gain stealth for 2 turns, so that's going to protect the fragile bounty hunters. It's going to sort of create the soft taunt situation with some of the support and tank bounty hunters, so that's probably going to be pretty good. And then also the second Zeta is going to be on sniper expertise. That's the second special, and basically when you Zeta that, you're going to be able to reset this ability that has a cooldown of 4 back down to 0, so you can use it again right away. And so this is going to be good if you're going to be using Aurra Sing in phase 3 against Star Trail. You might be able to squeeze in a second special right away, or you might be able to also squeeze in a bunch of those if you're using the bounty hunters in the tank raid in phase 2 or phase 4. So now that we've talked about more about Aurra Sing than you could ever possibly want to know, probably too much that is, I'm super excited to showcase some Aurra Sing led bounty hunter heroic Sith raid gameplay. This is against Dartreya in phase 3. I threw in Embo here just because I just wanted to kind of test him out. Now in the first part of the video I showcased that basically you could use Boba Fett, you could use IG-88. Basically if a bounty hunter is geared up, has a contract payout, you can sub them in for a missing bounty hunter. So if you don't have Dengar, if you don't have Embo, put in some of those other bounty hunters. Now basically just like any other bounty hunter leader, you're going to want to complete the contract ASAP. Now for this contract in particular, what you need to do is attack the blue crosshair targets, and those are going to be targets that don't have buffs 10 times. When you complete this contract, you get a pretty sweet reward. You get 50% counter chance on your bounty hunter ally, so that is quite good. Also, you're going to be gaining protection recovery when you kill targets and turn meters, so it's kind of similar to the Imperial Troopers. You're going to be gaining protection, you're going to be also gaining the turn meter, so you're going to get a lot of momentum. So if you kill one of the lightsabers, you can actually quickly take out the rest, and then you can actually not have too much difficulty toppling Treya again and again and again over the course of the battle. Some initial feedback that I found with Aurra Sing is with this team, you can actually pop standalone. If you do it in the very beginning with Aurra Sing, you can actually do it a second time over the course of the battle. So right now the cooldown's at 9%. You can see that in the bottom right, and that's just going to continually climb. Also pay attention to Aurra Sing's damage. So we already use standalone, but even without standalone, offense up and using her second special sniper expertise is still going to be doing a whopping like 200 to 300k damage per special. This is still a ton of damage. So I'm not sure if I was able to basically squeeze in a second or third standalone with this battle, and I think I didn't. I think things started to fall apart towards the end, but so I did, I think, what was it, around 5.8 to 6 million damage. This was one of my first few tries, so I think that you should be able to actually squeeze in a few more million damage, and this is with just the 5-dot mods right now. So with some 6-dot mods on the horizon and sort of basically modding correctly for this team, you want to actually probably use offense mod sets on some of the other bounty hunters to capitalize on standalone. I don't think I was actually using offense mod sets on a lot of these other bounty hunters. I was using a speed set, I believe, on Dengar, and a speed set on Bosk, and a crit damage set on Embo and Greedo. So you could probably actually squeeze in even more damage when you can actually pop multiple standalones in the battle. So that's interesting. You can see right now, 51%, we're already more than halfway there to using a second standalone. So definitely going to be possible to at least use standalone twice. The key is actually trying to actually make sure that none of your bounty hunters die before you're able to use that second standalone. That's going to actually give you probably at least another million or two damage. So I did about 5.8 to 6 million damage with this run. Definitely think it's possible to do even higher than this. So super exciting. I really enjoyed playing this team. It's really fun. It reminds me of the Imperial Troopers. Also, bounty hunters are just fun to play in general as well. Now here's another Aurra Sing special. Boom, another 270k. She's hitting so hard. Right now we're halfway to the end range of 7, and we have done millions of damage already. This is a team that does more damage than the Chex Mix and is definitely way more fun to play because her leadership is going to be stealthing all the other attackers. So by default, Traya is going to isolate Bossk most of the time, which is great. This is awesome because you do want your tanks usually to get isolated. So back to the battle. I think it seems like we should be able to do a second standalone, and another sort of great person to do this on is going to be Greedo. Greedo can actually do a ton of damage as well. He has been fixed. He can actually do a bunch of attacks. If you can increase his crit chance high enough, he will just continually attack again and again and again as long as he is critting. So let's pop standalone on Greedo with a little bit of nice RNG. Hopefully he does not get dazed, and let's see how many basically how many crits we can do with Greedo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 crits. That's pretty good. And we got a little bit unlucky though. We got 2 retribution swords right away, dazed, and that's going to be the end of Greedo. But that's not too bad. 7 crits in a row, and with a little bit of more crit chance on the mods, you could have probably done a few more crits as well when she was toppled, and with a little bit of RNG, with none of those sort of retribution sabers, Greedo would have just counterattacked, killed all the sabers, and retoppled Traya again. So you can definitely see the potential with a little bit of nice RNG. You can squeeze in a few million damage there with just another standalone with Greedo. Now with the death of Greedo and the enrage timer being set at 3, the battle is basically almost over. So let's just go over the damage screenshot and wrap up the video. So I showcased the same screenshot in the beginning of the video. I want to just basically state that if you look at Greedo, he died prematurely. He did, 1.4 million. I think you could probably boost that to at least 2 million or higher. And then also on top of that, you can see Embo is doing his consistent sort of 500 to 700k damage. Boba Fett does about that damage as well. And also if we get any sort of other reworks, like maybe Zam Wessel could get a rework or something, it'll be interesting to see how they do comparing to Embo's damage there. Now Bossk isn't doing a lot of damage, but what he's doing is he's tanking those isolates. He's also basically helping to burst down some of those sabers with his burst attack, which is going to be able to sort of get that momentum to topple Traya easier. And then take a look at Aurra Sing's damage. Over 3 million damage. That's half of the total team's damage. So Aurra Sing is killing it in this raid. So that is about it, guys. Thanks everyone so much for watching. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts about the video, your thoughts about Aurra Sing, if you want to see anything else about her, if you have any questions, etc. And also be on the lookout tomorrow for some Embo-led Aurra Sing P3 gameplay. Have another super awesome video for you guys, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Cheers.